Boom! We are live. Friday, 8:05 p.m. I think this is a recent record. We have not been on time for a while, have we, Jeff? Never on time.
Never.
It's always my fault. I'm terrible. So this evening, guys, another double weekend of podcasts. Excited. This one I have been looking forward to for a while, actually. I've been very curious to learn more about this brand new Montreal brewery that opened during the pandemic. So, is that the right channel? Are you on the right channel?
Yes.
Okay, good. So, I'm not going to go on about it. I'm just going to get this going, mate. Okay, 31. What's good, y'all? This is C-Certified Brewhead, and welcome to episode 31 of Birra, Untitled Chapter podcast, Adjunct Series Quarantine Edition. This evening, I have a fantastic guest. If you have been listening to us for a while, this gentleman is one of the very few people who've been on multiple times. This is his third time. He's a professional. He's an OG of BAOS. I'm just going to bring him right on. This is Jean-Philippe Lalonde from Silo and Birra. I'm going to give you a round of applause. Hey, there he is. What up, what up, what up, what up, what up, what up?
Hey.
How you doing, man?
Yeah, the first time we met, you called me an OG. And I was just like a deer with lights, and I didn't know what to say. So
No.
you make education now.
Right? It's, it goes both ways. You teach me about beer, and I'll teach you about ridiculous slang,
It's about streetwear.
It's a trade. I do remember that. That came up recently, I think, over the summer on the the Facebook memories, and I watched that. It was so funny. Good times.
OG.
Man. So yes,
I'll accept.
you accept it. You have to. So you people might be familiar. That was we were just trying to figure out when that was. It was at least 2 years ago, maybe 3. I think it might have been 2017 even. And that was when you had La Succursale. And then you got into Birra, which we're going to talk about tonight. And we did an episode with yourself and your girlfriend and co-owner, Weena. I think that was 2018. Do you think? I think it might have been. Uh-oh. We got a Skype pause. Uh-oh. This doesn't happen too often. God damn it. Oh, internet. JP is just frozen. Yeah, so maybe you just call back in a second. In the meantime, I can just talk to myself. I can keep going with the story until it's just so funny. It's such a funny.
That's a good frozen stare
freeze.
face.
I don't know if I should hang up and just let him call back in, or the downfall of.
Maybe you should chat him and say it's frozen.
Yeah,
He could
hit
just
him
be
on
having a
Facebook and
chin
stuff.
wag and not know.
Yeah, or he could be talking because he probably can't hear me though. I'll just say if froze, call back. What did it say? Oh, he sent me a photo. It says. Oh, you're waiting to accept the invitation from me? Okay, this is hella weird. Sorry, guys. This tends to happen with podcasts. I don't understand why Skype is so ridiculous. Okay, what I'm gonna do? Oh, here we go. He's calling me again. There we go. Come on. There we go.
Oh.
All right, we got you back. I don't know what happened there. I wonder if there's a way. I didn't actually accept your thing. I saw it, and then I was just getting changed, and then you called, so it worked. But that means, is this going to keep happening until I accept it?
I don't know what you're talking about. I told you Skype is just...
Skype sucks, man. Yeah, because it says you're waiting to me to accept the invitation, but now you're on the call. I don't know how to go back and accept. Oh, what if I could do it on my phone or something like that? Skype, man. See, this is not not the optimal situation. I mean, it's doing the trick for this software and stuff, but here we go. If I go here, oh, it's not giving me a thing to accept it, so maybe it just worked. Well, we shall see. We'll just continue on. Take a look. Take a look.
Another surprise.
I know, right? Hey, man. I feel like the best part, this type of shit is exactly why we never did the podcast over Skype in the past. It was always in person. And then when this stuff happened, we had no choice. And typically it's been pretty good, but I think people are patient with technical difficulties and such, Everybody knows it's a mess. So what I was saying was in about 2018, we did the podcast with you guys at Birra. And then you sold La Succursale last year.
Yeah. Last year. May 2019.
Oh, it was May. Okay. And
Yeah.
That's a while ago.
Yeah, it takes a long time to build a new company,
That's
and
true.
COVID has been running for a while too. So
Yeah, it feels like forever. And then I guess you opened in the middle of the pandemic this year.
Just before.
Just before. Okay, I'm sorry. So it was March, February?
It was February 26, 28, something like that. We opened the bar, and then when we were ready to show our beers to the public, we had to close.
Gotcha. So horrible timing. But the best part is the word that I've heard on the street about what you're doing is exceptional. People are talking, bro. They're talking about the OG. And I had the Louvain Czech Pilsner last night. Oh my gosh, it was phenomenal. And this is the kölsch that we're going to crack first, yeah?
Yeah.
I'm excited for this one. Tell me, I got a bunch of questions about Silo, man. Maybe just tell us about this beer and then we'll get into the whole project and such. So
this is a kölsch. It's a blonde ale from Germany. In fact, it's a style that is from Cologne in Germany.
Yeah.
As you can see, it pours very clear.
Yeah. Super clear. Great head.
So it's unfiltered, and we leave it enough time so it gets very clear. And fermentation is quite slow. It ferments at 17 degrees instead of general ale fermentation around 20. So you have a little bit less fruity esters, but you get some of them. But it's more on the subtle, sulfury, hidden flavor that you cannot quite name, but that are part of the harmony of the thing. And it's a blonde ale that is quite easy to drink, very
smooth.
And
yes.
Oh yeah.
Are you ready? Boom. You know how it goes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Not my first.
Yeah, not your first rodeo.
Yeah, so I made too much fun.
A lot of it. Cheers, brother. It's great. It's just like so on point, and I know this is your thing, right? This is this is what you're really into, and this is sort of where you really shine. I think most breweries who follow that type of model, like the breweries making beers that they love, it works best. That's the glass looks dope, man.
It's a traditional kölsch glass.
Oh, you want to try it? Yes, it's
so always looking for balance, and that's the art thing for me, because I don't want it to be too sweet or too bitter or too dry or too anything. It just has to be right in the middle, for my taste at least.
Okay.
That's why I like to make them again and again to like nail it eventually.
Right. Yeah, and that's it's particularly with these styles where they're traditional and they have a certain way, like, you don't really mess with it too much. This is great, man. It's super balanced. I'm just trying to take a few of the quick notes there. It's nice, and I feel like it's got like a nice sweet profile. Am I imagining that?
It's pretty dry, but there's some kind of maltiness, some protein, some roundness to it, but it's not sweet.
Not sweet.
It's gonna stick in your palate. It's gonna stay clean.
That's true.
And the bitterness is just enough to cut through it and to leave you wanting another.
Yeah, it's just super super crushable. It's got a nice fruitiness. What hops are in this one?
Yeah, it's Saz hops and a little bit of crystal hops, which are American, some kind of toned down cascade. But I use them only at the beginning of boil, so you can feel the hop aroma, but it's only boiling hops. So in theory, there's no hop aroma, but when you're making a beer that has so much less flavor and less everything, you can start sensing what every ingredient is doing. So you can feel the hop, you can taste them, but they're very subtle.
Gotcha. Okay. No, this is fantastic, man. This is it's just nailed it. And I think since we've sort of last connected, this has become my sort of like all the crispy boys are now my thing, surprisingly. Like I love them more than even the haze right now, to be honest. And Yeah, it's weird. I know.
I don't believe you.
A lot of people don't. People because like they just don't understand. I don't get it now. Like they won't believe me, so I have to keep doing it. But I was like, that's why I was really excited to try his stuff, and what we're gonna get into, like how it started actually, because you went to the motherland and discovered how to do from the source in the Czech Republic, right? So maybe we should go to if people want to hear about Birra and stuff, you can listen to that episode. But maybe tell us first, and we're going to talk about Birra afterwards, but we should focus on Silo for now. So tell me why you sort of moved on from La Succursale and how this project came about.
We were making the house beers for Birra, but we didn't have a brewery for us to make it directly. So with La Succursale, I was brewing on premise on site, but we couldn't sell anywhere else.
To Birra, right?
So I didn't like the contract brewing part of the thing. We had our own lineup for Birra beer, but I didn't have any control on the quality. I couldn't improve, or I like to know every details of how it's produced.
Okay.
So we came with the idea that probably it should be a good idea to make it our own, and it was like the timing was good, so I decided to sold my share of La Succursale to my partner, so they can go on with La Succursale with the same beers and a new brewery and all. And on my side, I had the opportunity to do a new company from scratch.
Right. And so that was, and Silo came about in, you said May last year. Something like that. Was it May?
Sorry, Silo, February.
February. Oh, so you opened in February, but it started.
The first can beer were available in April.
In April. And last year, though, to talk about how it came about. So when you started a new project and you already had Birra, and is it something that you just like, because that's pretty uncommon where there's one person, you already had two breweries, you moved on from one, and then you started a whole other project. What inspired, like, why do you do that? That is super cool, and it's like I said, it's uncommon in beer for people to work like that. That's really cool.
Yeah. With La Succursale, I was limited to do this legal thing that we couldn't sell the beer in the beer shops and grocery. So I really wanted to go to jump into this market where I can take my beers and get known from people that are in other cities, because it becomes increasingly difficult to get people to our place, because there's so many good options right now that I think that now you really have an advantage if you can get your beer to people somewhere else and to get them to come and visit us after this. So it was the main priority for Birra and for Silo, the new brewery. So here we have a bar too, so we can eventually get people to come and see us. And it was a great opportunity to build from scratch. So it's the day I left La Succursale, the idea was already in motion for a good while then. And when you build a company, you have so many choices to make, and you can have 2 or 3 good choices, and you have to pick one and go forward and move forward, and you cannot go back, because you have to stick with your choices with the company. And it's the same thing with beers. If I have made beers in 2011 for La Succursale, and then people just love them, and I couldn't change them that much. So it's a lot of opportunity to get all the ideas that you couldn't make because you cannot do anything, and to just take the better of it and do it again with the hope to be better this time.
Okay, I like that. That makes a lot of sense. Daniel in Vancouver is comment says Crispy Boys WTF, because I called the episode Crispy Boys for now, in case we come up with a better name. So okay, so where did the name? I got a bunch of questions. I don't even know where to start. But why the name Silo? Where did that come from?
Oh, it's naming things is not my best quality. Just
Okay.
yes, I'm not advocating my qualities around this, but it was just a simple choice because everything in beer just looked like a silo, and
That's true.
silo is something that we forget that beer is an agricultural product, and silo is kind of a bridge between. You can see silo in the fields, and you can see a lot of silo in Montreal in industrial neighborhood. And if you look at a kölsch glass, it looks like a silo. If you look at a can, it looks like a silo, and that's why we just draw a ladder to just showcase a silo. And a beer keg.
We lost him again. Okay. What I'm gonna do, guys? Oh, you come back? Nope. Because it said I accepted. It wasn't there to be accepted on freaking Skype. So what do you want from us? What do you want from us, Skype? God damn it! I'm sorry, everybody. Oh, there he is. Are you back? JP? Again, I know.
Yeah.
Like
small.
Oh, your video's off, it says. I don't understand what's going on here. This has never happened before. I'm just trying to see if I had to accept it. Can you hear me okay? There you go.
Yeah, I'm back.
Look at that. Skype is giving us too much trouble tonight. God damn it. So I was going to ask, okay, so the ladder represents the thing on the side of a silo. And the branding here, we've always got, on all the cans from what I've seen, is like somebody doing something, like they're usually walking around this one has a little, like a girl holding, like letting a kite go, and the kite's at the top there, which is super cool. Let me get my head out the way.
Everything is miniatures because we wanted people the people need to pay attention to what it is. They cannot just go past it on the shelves if they want to know what's in it. So it's a super subtle, but it goes with the styles of beer and my thinking behind what kind of beer I like. Beers that you can that doesn't look like shiny things, but you get to know them if you think about it, and they can just follow you over the night, and they're simple good things that you need to pay attention a little bit to enjoy.
Okay, I like that, man, because it's definitely like that minimal design, and it forces you to pick up the can and go, what is that? Well, that's a kite. Oh, it's a girl. And then you look around, and then on the other side, you've got the information, the name, the style, the ABV and stuff. I like that a lot. A couple comments here. Daniel saying, love the name. Just poured myself an amazing lager from Strathcona. Daniel loves the crispy boys. And Tiff says, love the name Silo. It's a really cool name. I like it's just so clean. Everything about this is so like just well put together, and it certainly would stand out on the shelf when everything is colorful.
Purpose. Yeah, like you said, you have to pick it up, and also it's now you can see this year there's a few brewery that came with a white can, but before this it was so noisy. There was so much color, like what you can see behind me. It looks like a beer shelves, and there was so many noise, so many colors, and you need to stand out with something. And minimal cans are one way to do it.
Okay, I like that. The mural in the back. So people, I'm not sure if we said it earlier, but you're in the tap room right now. So that's behind the bar. That the mural behind you there.
No, but maybe we can make a small visit if you want now.
Yeah, let's do it. So since you're there,
I'll try to show you with my laptop on reverse.
Yes.
So you tell me you see only my feet or whatever.
Oh wow, nice. That's huge.
Yeah. So this is the tap room.
That's cool.
Right now we have picnic tables all over the place because they were on the terrace.
Ah, I see.
On the patio. So this is a big 30 feet mural from a local artist called Doras.
Okay.
That is very, very, very nice.
Yeah.
And I don't know if you can see.
Yeah, I can see everything. Yeah,
This is
it's a big tap room.
Yeah, so it's a big tap room. We have 125 places.
Okay.
Seats. So we've made a custom big table, big communal table, and we left the building almost as it was before, with the white bricks and the black ceilings.
Okay.
And the concrete floor. What I'm doing right now.
No, this is perfect. This is great.
It's weird because I don't see. This is the bar. So we only have 12 taps on purpose because we don't want to have too many beers.
Okay.
We want people to get to know the beer we have, and we're working a lot with those little taps that are from Czech Republic, and they go hand in hand with the Super Buck there.
Ooh, yeah. Are
So
they is that a LUKR?
Yeah, those are 4 LUKR taps. So we can use them to make a lot of wet foam that is very very thick and that has exceptional texture. So we really work with a lot of foam and a lot of texture in the tap room. So we have to educate the consumer and the staff to appreciate a lot of foam. So that's our main focus, because we think that in Czech Republic they really have something special with the way they serve the beer.
Right.
So this is our little forest that so will be well placed someday, but now it's kind of a mess here. And yeah, that's it. So it's basically a very big mural, big communal tables, and a lot of plants.
Beautiful.
So I'll show you the brewery while I'm.
Yeah, why not? It's much bigger than I didn't know why.
It's very big.
really
So now
big.
you have to close your eye because it's messy.
Okay.
But this is all the beer I have to throw away because my walk-in cooler froze last week.
No.
And I have to throw away all the beers that were there.
Is it like because they're not kept cold, they have to be dumped?
It was -10, so the system just exploded.
Oh gosh.
Like a can in your freezer that you forget.
Yeah. I just did that.
I had 12 cases before.
Fuck. That's terrible.
So this is the brewery. I don't know if you can see.
Yeah.
Yes.
This is the brew house.
So this is the brew house.
Yeah.
Maybe I can put you.
You could hold it. You could even. Oh, that's good. There you go.
Man. It's a little bit crazy. Now you're on a bucket.
I'm on.
Pickle. It's a blue pickle bucket. Okay, so
There you go.
this is the mash tun. You can mix the grain, and then this is the kettle, and then we have the 3 fermenters that from and now all the beers are made in those three tanks.
Mhm.
But we're gonna get double tanks like this in 2 weeks. Yeah, we're too close right now. Double tanks like this one in 2 weeks. This one.
Yeah.
So we're gonna produce more beer from now on, and have more lager.
Love
And
it.
this is the conditioning tanks.
Okay.
So this is where the beer just conditioned is going to be get clearer, because we don't filter. So we need a lot of time to get the kölsch clear like that, because we don't filter. So it needs a lot of time. So we will have in 2 weeks new tanks, like horizontal stacked
Ooh, yeah.
one on the other. So yeah, so we're going to be able to have more space to lager the beers and to make new lagers, because with the COVID we have to put this on ice for a little bit,
Okay.
and then
No. Not again. Why do you do this to... Okay. Honestly, Skype, I've had it with you tonight. Let's see what's happening here. I pressed... Hang on, no. It's turning off. What the fuck is happening? Reconnecting. Oh, okay, good. It's on Skype pressing up. So I think he probably just went to the fridge. I can't see. Yo, this is dope. I like this brewery tour thing. I think we're gonna make this a regular thing on the podcast. If the
It's because they haven't always been at the brewery.
yeah, no, because he asked me specifically. There you go. That actually cut out, I think, man, because it might have had no reception in it at the back there.
I can hear you. I don't know if you can see me.
I can see you.
That's my mistake. I don't think Wi-Fi goes into the cold room.
No.
So just was just stupid.
That's okay. Yo, it's
Okay, so
a
I'm
beautiful place, man. Really,
It
really.
is. It's a shame that we cannot show it to more people right now.
Yeah, I can't wait to check that out when we're back. You're in an area of Montreal in the north part of the island called Ahuntsic, correct? Yeah.
That's right.
Why did you choose Ahuntsic for this one?
It's not too far from Birra. It's a 10-minute drive.
Not bad.
It's conveniently placed near the highway 40 and 15.
Okay.
It's a neighborhood where we have a lot of square footage, square feet of leasing available, and the rents are just way cheaper than downtown in the cool neighborhoods. And the other thing is that Ahuntsic doesn't have any brewery, so not one.
Okay.
So if you want to have a good beer, you have maybe one or two choices, but not in this area of Ahuntsic. We are far away on the west side. In fact, we are near Saint Laurent Street.
Okay.
So yeah, it's a very bizarre place where the buildings are weird in a good way. It's very special, and it's quite beautiful to be around here. Yeah.
Okay, that makes sense. I've only been up there once or twice ever. I know Bruhaha, there was one in Ahuntsic, but that was a different area than where you are?
It's very, very far away. They are near Papineau Street, which is far east.
Okay.
And we're near Saint Laurent and near the Marché Central. So it's you can,
like Rockland.
it's very far.
Okay. That makes sense. I know, and I just sort of realized I was looking at the can. Obviously, this beer is called Saint Laurent. The one I had last night is called Louvain, and you are on Louvain.
Yeah, that's right. So when I say I'm not the best to name things, that's one of my lazy things. Is I choose a lot of street.
That's okay. And then the next beer we're going to have is called Fleury, which I'm only putting this together now. I'm only realizing, as you were talking before, and I looked at the can, I saw the word 109 Louvain. I was like, oh shit, that makes sense. Okay.
For the last minute, I only see you with your eyes closed, and you don't move.
Yes.
So I'm thinking maybe the connection is not good.
I'm the battery in the camera died. So Tiff just that's okay. Tiff just changed it over. It takes like 10 seconds and then we're back in. But the screen can see me because I brought in the next one. Are we going to the next beer?
You're asking me?
Yeah, I'm asking you. Do the Fleury?
Yeah, we can open it.
Because I know we're going to go through a bunch. Tiff or Dad, could you get me the Fleury? It's the Silo beer in the bottom of the fridge to the right. It looks like this one.
I did not wait for you.
No, I respect that. You're thirsty.
Can I see? I saw.
All right. Now I should be back in business. Can you see me now? It should be good.
Nope.
No? Okay. Maybe it's just the Skype's frozen. It might kick back. It'll probably kick back in. All right. Oh, Tiff is here in the wrong one. Let me see if that's the one.
Just wait a second.
Parfait. So for people, this one is called Fleury. This is the alt beer. And I feel like the color of this can, oh, look at the light. I love this branding, man. The branding is so dope. It's so subtle. And like this is like a cat with some birds at the bottom. It's like, you really got to stare at it to see this shit. And just to put it side by side, it's like slightly different color. Like, this is kind of more off-white. And this is almost more like gray or something.
And if you can read on the back, we have a suggestion to what to drink with. And it's usually things like this one is to drink while relaxing
in the sun, right? Yeah. And the other one said to drink out. Let me guess. En plein air, à boire en plein air means drink outside.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Look at me, huh?
Kölsch. Yeah.
Pretty
Perfectly
French, huh?
bilingual. No subtitles.
None at all. Not on this podcast. Tell us about the old beer, bro.
Yeah, that's right. It's very weird that I cannot see you. But, I'll try to be focused.
Yeah.
This is quite like the Kölsch because it's fermented with the same yeast. So as I said earlier, the yeast really is the signature of the beer and some subtle aroma. I don't know if you can. Oh, okay, you're there.
There we go.
You're hearing me?
I can hear you perfect. I just reset my camera so you can see me again.
Great. So it's the same base, but the beer is it's more bitter.
Okay.
And it's a lot more maltier too. So we'll have some hint of caramel and chocolate and.
Got it.
Okay. And chocolate. But it will smell like sweet, but at the same time it's very dry and bitter at the end.
Yeah. So an alt beer, can you actually describe, because this is where my knowledge, I need to step it up. So what exactly is an alt beer? And then in comparison, what is a Marzen and maybe what is you know what I'm saying? Like those similar type of, or Vienna lager, like what's the difference between these
all
styles?
Those amber brown beer from Germany
Yes.
are quite alike, but they have simple difference. Like for this one, for example, the biggest difference is that it is an ale. So lagers are fermented around 10 degrees, like I said. But this one will be fermented with an ale yeast, which is not the exact same species, and it will ferment higher. So the alt it means old in German. So they're referring to the way they were doing beer before the lager wave just spread into the world.
Okay.
So they wanted to stay with the old way of brewing beer, but they adapted to modern techniques. So they have a beer that doesn't go sour and that doesn't taste smoky.
Wow.
And they modernized it, but still an ale. So that's the biggest difference.
Okay. All right. So it's okay. This is really good, man. Like,
and in terms of taste, you will get something a little bit drier than the Munich Dunkel, which will be a little less bitter and maybe way less bitter and more malty sweet.
okay.
But this one is really dry and bitter with a caramel punch. And that is the way they drink and do so.
Right. Okay. This is great. I always sort of get I feel like there's so much to learn about like these style of beers because this is the stuff that traditionally people learn about, but I didn't really ever dive that deep into it. So it's really nice to sort of start to explore it now. Now that I have a base beer, I think a lot of people are like, maybe people like everyone gets into beer typically, with lagers and then coming into Viennas and red ales and blah blah blah. Then you go through the thing. Then you maybe get into Belgians, and then you get to the trendy shit, and then the haze and the sours, and then there's this the full circle where you come back around. And now that it's been nearly 10 years of doing this for me, so I'm not that like deep than like a lot of people, but there's a newfound appreciation for these beers. But now I have an understanding of all the other styles and how it's done, and I get to speak to smart folks like yourself to teach me about it. And now I'm extra fascinated to learn more about how these things come together. So this is great. I know most of your stuff. We were talking the other day, and you were telling me that these two beers specifically are great for you because they're super tasty. They're on style for real traditional. Both these are German style beers, but you can turn them over a lot quicker because the lagers are. What do they take? 6-8 weeks?
Yeah, those beer will take maybe 4 weeks to make, but the lagers will take maybe 6.
Okay.
It's a lot longer because they're fermented colder, so the sugars just take more time to get fermented. But then after this, when there's no sugar left, there's still a big sulfury characters and so much aroma to like round, and because we don't filter, we will wait till the yeast settles. So
Right.
this could, well, yeah.
Man, this is really good. It's like every sip, it's sort of I'm feeling like it's like changing in the flavor profile. It's definitely getting more and more caramel that's coming through, but super balanced.
That's good to hear, because that's the purpose of it. Because maybe at the first sip you'll taste something like very clearly that beer tastes like this, and then you forget about it because you have something else to eat. You're talking with your friends, but every sip you have something new, and
Yeah.
it's alive, and you can finish your glass and say, like my palate is ready for another beer.
Yeah, that's a great point. What are the hops in this one, by the way?
It's Spalt and Magnum. Magnum is a German, very bitter focused,
yeah.
and Spalt is a very classical, noble German hop.
Did you get photos?
Yeah.
Okay.
And cannot taste them that much too, because
Right.
they very low profile in that beer.
Okay, that makes sense. Mike just commented, Mike is Beer Brit MTL. Shouts to you, Mike. He said, love everything Silo have been doing recently. Those cans are so slick. He's been one of the people I've seen raving online about everything you're doing, man. So I think this is super interesting because it's like this project kind of like, people knew about it, but I feel like it kind of almost went under the radar a bit. Quebec had been a lot slower to pick up on like this trend of all the the real traditional lagers and pilsners and stuff like that, and I feel like I think it was last year and this is really what I'm getting at here. Last year you went to Germany, I think in the Czech Republic. Is that accurate? Last summer?
Yeah.
Yep.
Last May. Yeah.
Okay, and there's a bunch
Not
of
summer before, when we could travel.
Okay, yeah, sorry. Yes, 2019. That's what I meant. Sorry. I noticed there was a bunch of people from Quebec who went to Europe and did all these trips. There was like this resurgence of all these Quebec brewers and people involved in the beer scene went out there, checked out all the real, how the traditional stuff is done, and then finally brought that stuff back to Quebec. And now there's like a bunch of exceptional beers like this, traditional Czech beers and German beers and things like that. So tell me why you went out there and what you sort of learned and how that inspired the beers that you're making at Silo.
Yeah, there's so many things to say about this, but first I went to Germany the first time in 2008. So I went to Düsseldorf and Cologne and Bamberg, which is in Franconian, north of Munich, and Munich. So all the cities are very important for beer. Not all, but probably the main one. And it really changed my way of... I was brewing kölsch and alt at home, but I was brewing all styles of beers that could exist because I was a home brewer. So I wanted to try everything. And we were staying for a few months in a city near Brussels. And we made trips to a few places, and Germany just blew me away because I didn't expect that level of quality and care and love for food and drinks and beer. It was the biggest surprise was the food. It looks not that good. People are just joking about German food, but it's just so delicious that you change your perspective, and the beer is the same thing. You go to a bar in Cologne, and there's a long list, but there's only one beer at the top. The only way to order a beer is to say eine Bier, because there's no other beers. So you just take it, and this is the beer for that place. And so it was such a relief to go to a place and not have anxiety about doing the right choice. Like,
right.
There's so many things I have to taste. What am I gonna choose? And you finish with a bunch of barley wines and all that. That's impossible to drink on your table. And then you go to Germany and just beer are drinkable. Okay. And this is a big shift from other places. The beers are drinkable, and it just integrated with the culture and with the people, and everybody loves beer. And if you go to any bar, you can speak with the people around you, and everywhere there's big tables, and it's just a cultural completely different from a culture completely different from here. And they love beer, but they don't bother that much to know everything. So this year, 10 years after this, I went to Prague because I've never been to Czech Republic, and I've been brewing Czech Pilsner for a while, and I thought I was doing it right, but the thing is that it's very hard to discern what is a good traditional style and what isn't when you're seated in Quebec or in the United States, and everybody just claim that they know, claim that they do their thing and it's traditional or anything, but you cannot know. So going there is and having your own experience is it's shift my mind. And so I've been to Prague and Bamberg last summer, and it was a very, very nice trip. Yeah.
Okay. So did you go back to get inspiration for what you wanted to do for Silo, or was it just like a personal?
Yeah, I'd say that I in 2011 I started my new brewery, La Succursale, with a kölsch, an alt beer, and a bitter and a porter. So
right.
I would say that my mind is like set for a few years now. But so I already knew what I was looking for, but I wanted to have confirmation and to really have the taste and to see how they serve it, because the technique of serving the beer is so different from here, and the taste, like the drinkability, you have to go there and taste it again, and just to be to confirm that it needs to be more and more drinkable than what we are used to drink here.
Right. So when you went there, and you actually got to, I imagine you went to Pilsner Urquell and
yeah,
things like that, right? So when you were trying, like, what was that like, trying those beers, like, from the source? I know they have that underground cave thing. I think I might have seen your photos, actually, you were posting that. I was following along pretty closely because there was a bunch, like, I know Alex from Chantlib went there with Pierre, I think from Francis from Haracana and stuff. Yeah. You were there. There's probably a bunch of other people. So I was like really starting to get interested in those styles last summer, and seeing where you guys were. I was like, yo, this looks crazy. Like, it looked such a different experience than what we're used to over here for a brewery visit, right? So it's crazy.
This place is a pilgrimage because it was built in 1842. It's the first pale lager in the world, and what we have grown to know what is a beer right now, we will say that it's a pale lager. Like 95% of people just associate beer with pale lager, and everything goes from Pilsner Urquell and slowly drops in flavor until we have like Coors Light. So it's like this. It's the story of the past 200 years. So it's really nice to go there, and it was a very big surprise for me because I didn't think about Pilsner Urquell as a good beer because I tasted the bottle version here, and what was left for me was a very bitter, sweet and syrupy, like malt extract taste of a lager, and I didn't pay attention enough to it. And when I've been to this place, and not that much Pilsner Urquell in itself, but the bars in Prague that serve it unfiltered, on tap with the LUKR tap, with the big foam, with the buck, with all that foam, and the ambience, it really blew my mind, because this is like the best beer in the world. It is super sweet, super bitter. It has lots of hop aroma, but malty at the same time. It has all those character that seems to not fit at all, and at the same time it is the most drinkable beer in all. So it was a very, very big surprise, because this just it doesn't work, but when you taste it, it's the best thing. And about the underground caves that they have, this is a folkloric thing because they don't use it really, and they use a wood barrel with pitch. It's some kind of paraffin or something that so the beer doesn't touch the wood. So it really is an ancient way of doing it because the underground are so cold. It's around 8 degrees.
Okay.
So you have a Pilsner Urquell that is quite weird, I would say. People are raving about it, but I must say that it was a nice experience, but it's not the best Pilsner Urquell that I've tasted personally. For my taste, it was almost funky, and it was cloudy, and it was not carbonated as much as I would have liked. And so this is kind of a tourist thing, I would say. But,
right, yeah. Like you gotta do it.
I just burst your bubble.
Yeah, I know. It's like, oh man. You know
it's a
what?
great experience. It's a beautiful brewery, and it's a great tour because it's so impressive. Yeah.
Okay.
It's so historic.
Yes, exactly right. And we obviously don't have that stuff out here, so it's just fascinating. Like I haven't traveled to Europe since being into beer. We were supposed to be there a couple months ago, but you know how that goes. So during that trip, was there any specific beer or a specific brewery or something that inspired what you ended up brewing for Silo in the end? I mean, obviously you knew what you were going to make. You went back there to see it from the source. You've been making these beers since 2011. But was there anything that blew your mind? Or I know you said that you thought you were making a good Czech Pilsner, but after you tried it again there, you're like, oh no, I'm a bit off. Like, yeah, tell us about any experiences that you were like, wow, like this is why one of your beers exists.
Yeah, I would. It's hard to say because the Pilsner Urquell experience was the tasting of that beer was such a revelation for me that it just.
That was the one. Yeah, that could be the one. Yeah.
Everything in that trip, and I wouldn't say that the Pilsner that I was doing before was not good. It's not that. It's just because I was missing some important character that I wouldn't have the guts to use. But right now I know what it's supposed to taste, so I can tweak and change my process to achieve something that I wouldn't have done before this trip. So the Louvain, which you've tasted yesterday,
yes,
is really based on this. So it's a very bittersweet caramel and malty and very bitter beer with a lot of hops. But yeah, well, it's like it's the idea that I have in my head that I'm working toward to get to. And now it's the fifth brew, and I'm almost there, but it's like an idea. So
right.
So I'm chasing this, and I would say that Bamberg is always a mind-opening because Bamberg is such a beautiful small city with so many beers and so many. Again, it's the cultural way of drinking beers with family and friends and with big outdoor seating that is so different that what we're used to, and the beer are just again very drinkable, and there's no revelation or things that I really want to do like them because it's so diverse. But yeah, for sure I will come with a Franconian style lager in the next year. That's for sure.
Okay. Excuse my ignorance. What is a Franconian style lager?
That is an excellent question, and that is one question that I'm asking myself a lot because lager has one. The base of the lagers is that they are all clean. They yeast-wise they taste almost the same, and lots of those styles are low in hops, and with a malty profile that will shift subtly from one to another, and it's very hard to say. And yeah, now you can taste a few Franconian or Keller beers that
Oh, Keller beers.
Keller beer.
Skype. Wait. There we go. He's back. Come on, man. Skype, you are just misbehaving this evening. You're disrespecting JP's fantastic beers in the conversation. Now, oh. I imagine you can't hear me, sir. Oh, people. Shout outs to COVID. Come on. Oh, you back? We got you.
Oh.
We good?
Did you hear me, or I have to do it again?
I think you have to do it again. I think you said it's something about a Keller beer, and then I said, is it a Franconian lager is a Keller beer?
Yes,
and then
so we know more the term Keller beer, and the Franconians lager, as I said, are quite diverse, but they all have some kind of rustic feel. And when we're talking about Keller beer, usually they are unfiltered. We'll have a small yeast bite, and they can or cannot be more bitter, and they can be amber or pale, or Keller beer could be anything. Usually we use the term Keller beer because we have a barrel on the countertop that we serve with gravity, like an English cask ale.
okay.
It's usually a beer that is unfiltered and with not too much carbonation. But now we use the term Keller beer here in Quebec because people get to know it, and we know that we're talking about a rustic lager. But
Okay, and
great discussion that we could have, but
right.
I'm not familiar with all the subtlety of this. And what's the difference between a Franconian amber lager and a Vienna or a Merzen, or it's all very close to each other, and you that's why I must be careful, because I don't want to have like 10 lagers that are all alike. Only a difference in the name.
Right, okay. On that note, actually, the one beer from the 4 beers that you gave me, are they like, how many beers do you have right now on the Silo lineup?
I have 4.
4. So obviously the one beer that surprised me was the IPA with guava. But was that... Did we have something like that? Did you have something at like Succursale? Because that feels familiar to me. Or maybe there was an IPA with a fruit in it that you had that was really good.
Yeah. In the last years, we've been making a mango IPA. We've made a guava IPA too. It's not quite the same, but...
similar-ish concept.
Yeah, because I do a lot of different styles. Right now I'm focusing because all sorts of reason, but I've made a few New England style IPAs, and this
for Silo,
for La Succursale and Birra.
Okay.
But usually I like them to be fairly dry and bitter. So this is the Guava IPA is hazy. It has strong tropical fruit notes, but it's dry and bitter. So it's quite different than the hazy IPA that we have right now.
Okay, because I know that wasn't your thing. You know, we were joking about that at the Succursale interview that you weren't. I was like, that was when I was in my discovery phase of New England's, because they weren't really super common in Canada at the time. And I know you weren't super into it, which is when I saw the beers that you're doing now. I was like, oh, this makes complete sense. What sort of beers can people expect from Silo in general? Because now it's more like, I thought it was the Crispies, all the lagers and pilsers and the alts and all this fun kind of like, European traditional, not always, I imagine, but mostly. But then you got a Guava IPA alongside this, so I imagine it's going to be more eclectic than I first thought for Silo.
Yeah, that's an interesting comment, because I get this thinking a lot. I'm thinking about what should I do next, and one of the things that I would like to do is to do a double dry up IPA, and I'm not sure if I want to do it, because it kind of confused the brand, because I always look for balance. in AZ IPAs, like people are used to like and to know, are not on the balanced side.
No.
Not at all. They are always on the sweet side, and what people like is sweet, fruity, and yeah, like easy to appreciate a few sips.
Yeah.
Very fruity and sweet, but I would like to do it, but then I'm not sure if it's too confusing. But at the same time, and you know them, if you think about Bas-Canada or Messarin, other things. Oh, hello.
Oh, that's the that's the Uber Eats.
Okay, it's time to.
They're a bit. That's okay. We got some time. We ordered it early.
So the very the breweries that has a lot of IPs because of their double dry hop IPAs and sour smoothie and all those things, they brew lagers.
Yes, they do.
And nobody has any comment to say about why do they brew lagers, because it's completely normal. If they want to brew a lager, they brew a lager, and what's the harm in that? But on the reverse, when we have brewers that are making traditional beers, we tend to be suspicious when they're doing trendy beers. Like if we're thinking, oh, those guys, they cannot sell enough with their normal lineup, so they just try to grab a little bit of the hype that they don't like. So it's very hard to get on board on this because of the the perception of people. But I think every brewer has the right to make any beer if you want. But the only thing is that I think that the same goes for people that try to do a kölsch because they think it's trendy. Just do your research and think about what you're doing and brew a great beer, and that's all.
Right.
What am I gonna do next? Great beers.
Great beers.
Yes.
Okay, that's a fair point. To give you maybe some context on the hype side, the reason why a lot of the hype breweries do lagers is because technically now I would put like a dry hop lager or a well-made traditional lager, even with the slow pour, like with the, not always the LUKR, but like the big fluffy head. That's become a hype thing. And to be honest, I think that's why I started appreciating them, right? So I've always been into the haze since I think late 2016, and it was super hard to find here. And to be honest, Canada wasn't doing a bunch of it really well early on. Quebec didn't really have much at all. Now I think Quebec is making the best beer in the country. I think Quebec has nailed every style here, from the lagers. Quebec was missing for me, the lager side, the really really good traditional lagers, and they were missing the hype, the trendy stuff. No one was doing it until the last year and a half. Now we have everything good, and for some, because of the it's like the brewers who are making the hype stuff. I can only think of, it's probably like the American ones influenced it. Say like we used to go to, before you could, when you could travel, we'd go to Other Half in Brooklyn, and they'd have 27 IPAs and then one Helles Lager. Oh fuck, not again. Skype, come on man, we're trying to talk. You'll come back in a second. Gosh darn it. But yes, whilst I'm waiting for JP to come back, this is fucking fire, bro. I'm loving these two beers right here. I'm excited to try more from so at least I've had the three Crispies or the three traditional style beers right now. Hearing about the Guava IPA sounds really interesting too. That was, like I said, it was just sort of like that one that took me by surprise when I was talking to someone told me they got some Silo. I'm like, oh, what did you get? And they're like, oh, Guava IPA. I was like, what? It really like surprised me that that's what they were doing. So these three Crispies are just on point. And since I've known JP, one of the things that I remember from the Succursale interview. Oh, hang on, maybe he's coming back. One cancel. Shit. Oh, why is he calling the phone? Oh, here we go. There you are.
Say hi again.
God, man, Skype is
your Skype subscription.
I know, right? Jesus Christ. Okay, so I was just saying that I think when I was at Other Half and they had just a Helles on top of a million IPAs and maybe some pastry stouts and stuff, that got me curious. Then I'd go, I remember going to Toast in Brooklyn as well, and they had a Suarez family slow pour Pilsner. You know what I'm talking about? And that blew. I was like, "What the fuck is this? This is ridiculous!" Like it blew my.
Can be Instagrammable,
right? I think that's part of it.
It's on my Instagram. I want it.
Exactly. But I was just trying it because I knew that brewery. That's all they had from Suarez family. I never had them before, so and I remember that just like I just never experienced the slow pour before. And now I think that's part of it. It's almost like the brewers who are making the hype stuff just wanted to make a lager. They started doing it, and then it kind of became a thing. So that's why Masorum, why Brewski, why Bar Canada, why all those guys make those beers. To comment on what you were saying, though, you make an interesting point that people will be like, "Oh, well, why is Silo making a hazy IPA?" Blah blah blah. I think that's not fair. If people are saying that, I think you are correct. It's kind of dumb. But I remember one thing. I was just started to say while the Skype was reconnecting. I was saying I remember when we did our interview at the Succursale, and you had a New England IPA. It was kind of opaque, and you were like, "Yeah, I made it more balanced." And I think the thing about New England IPAs, they're not about, like you just said before. They're just not balanced. They're not balanced beers. They're supposed to be. Just chuck all the hops in, like fuck yeah, and it's not.
It took time for me to understand this, but if you remember a while ago, we were talking about this style of beer that was supposed to be pioneered by the Alchemist.
Yeah, Vermont IPAs, yes.
Think back, the Alchemist,
Heady Topple. Yeah.
This is a dry, bitter beer.
It is,
and at the time we were when I taste first the Eddie Topper in like 2000, I don't know, 13, I don't know, and I say, oh, that's why people like it, because it's less bitter than what we have now. And for a few years I was saying to everybody, stop liking the bitter, because in 2010, 11, 12, people were just more, the bitterer is the best.
Yeah.
Everything was more bitter, and I was doing balanced beer, and people were telling me it's not enough bitter, it's not enough bitter, and then Eddie Topper came with the less bitter beer, and it was all the crazy lineups for this beer. And when you think back, this is not a New England IPA
no, it's a Vermont IPA.
It's not at all, but it's supposed to. So I was still in that minding at that time, and now I understand that this style is focused on the extreme, and that beer has always gone to the extreme, and it will always be. And before that, it was very bitter, and then it was very, very sours and a sour beer, and now it's very, very sweet and fruity, and we're gonna go. Where are we going next? I don't know, but it always is gonna be in the extremes. And people go there because you said earlier that people go start with traditional styles, but I think that's not true. And from the beginning, people that came from traditional mainstream lagers, they want to have the opposite extreme. They like black beer, or they like Belgian beer, and then the super bitter and the IPAs, and they all, or the barrel aged, and they want to be completely dépaysé. How do you say that?
Is it just like they only want the extreme stuff?
Yeah, they want something else. They want something completely different than what they know, and then they come back to, wow, there's something good about beer that is a little bit toned down, and I can have a pint and another. So for beer geeks, I think this is just a normal path, and we'll always need the extreme styles, like right now the double dry up sweet IPA. We need them to get a lot of new people to like beer, and then they're gonna branch to other things.
Yes. Yeah, you're right.
With the beer that I do, they are very approachable. So my mother can just, she's not a beer geek, but she can like the Saint Laurent a lot. So this can replace, She has a Molson course, whatever, and I take this from her and give her a crafty version, and she's happy.
Right.
So this is what I do.
Yeah. No, you've definitely hit that market. Daniel's saying Canada needs more cask beers. That's what we were talking about before. And Mike says 2020 hashtag year of the lager. Look, I think you're right, bro. It is. You make a good point there. New England IPAs have converted more of my friends than any other style. Yep. I guess what I was commenting on, and you are correct, I was thinking 10 years ago, drinking, I thought I was fancy back in the day, drinking, like in Australia when I was like 20 years old, drinking, I don't know, like macro lagers from all over the world. I go by Quilmes from Argentina, or fucking they had Cristal from Cuba in Australia for some reason. Like,
but you were curious.
Always curious.
You drank what was available.
I drank what was available, but I went out of my way to pay more money to get more interesting stuff. In hindsight, now I think of it, and I started drinking some of the local pale ales that were easily available. And I thought a pale ale that was crazy bitter. I was like, wow, this is crazy. And this was long before I did this. This was like in like probably 15 years ago, and I started this thing in 2011. So I always forget that I was doing that before, and then going into this was kind of more intentional. And the reason why I started with traditional stuff, I wasn't really going too far outside of like lagers and stuff like that. But when I did the stupid photo thing, and I had to get 365 beers in a year, I was like, well, there isn't 365 beers, so whatever. Little did I know.
The beer shop just there.
Yeah, exactly. I was in Toronto. I went to the LCBO across the street, and what did we get first? Well, I got every single lager from Europe, every single Tuborg and Grolsch and like blah blah blah. I got one of everything every time, and then I got through those. I'm like, man, these are fucking boring. Like, I'm so over this. Then I started going to red ales, and then I went to BAOS and Wellington and Muskoka, like the other local ones. And I was like, oh, wow, what the hell is this? What the hell is this? I'm discovering all these styles because I had to take a picture of them. So it made me discover it. So I went on that thing, and then someone told me about Westvleteren or Westvleteren, however you say it. So we went to a bar and spent $40 on a bottle and split it. And I was like, what the like, it blew my mind. So then I was on my Belgian tip, and I loved all the Belgian beers. And then a few years later, then the bitter West Coast IPAs. I wanted the palate wrecker that ruined my face. I was like, yeah. So like nowadays, though, you are correct. People will go and they'll have a double dry hopped IPA that might not be 10, like 9, 8%, might be like 6%. And they're like, oh, wow, this is fruity. I know that all... like some of Tiff's friends, I remember being at breweries with them, and she doesn't drink beer. This one girl specifically, I remember I gave her some of my beer. She's like, this is amazing. What the hell is this? And maybe she was a wine drinker and doesn't really drink beer, and that could have changed her into doing that. So I've noticed that those New England IPAs definitely play a role, and then you are correct. It'll get them into it, and if they get into it, then they'll start exploring. And they'll find stuff like this, And
that's the great thing about beer, that we have so much tools that we can use. We can use sourness very easily now. We can use the barrel aged. We can use the sweetness, the bitterness. We have so many tools. It's very easy to get people to like beer because there's something for everyone, and it always has been, but now like every corner brewery just makes everything, so you can always ask questions to people and say, maybe you will like this one, if you don't like this, maybe you will like this. And so we don't have any excuses to get people to like beer on the taste side anyway. That's true, right? I'd love to see you go crazy and make an extreme double dry hop New England IPA just to see what. Better not miss. That's the point. I'm like, oh man, if I do this, it better be.
I bet you could. Like, I think arguably it's harder to brew the Louvain than it would be to do a New England IPA. Is that accurate?
Yeah, there's so much to that question, because I think that a lot of people, like I said earlier with the kölsch, a lot of people just brew beer with like, oh yeah, we'll do lager, Pilsner malt, lager yeast, whatever. They don't put that much thought in it, and it can produce a good beer. But will it be exceptional, and will you be able to do it again and again the same way with the same result? Will it have the level of finesse that people should be expecting from modern microbreweries? So that is the question. I'll leave it there.
Yeah.
But doing a double dry up IPA or New England IPA, I've been visiting a lot of, and I'll talk about the United States brewery right now because I don't want to get to talk about people that I know. But I was in 2 years ago. I had 2 trips in the New England IPA area. So we went to a lot of very good lagers brewery like Suarez, like Nutch, and like Schilling Brewing, and it was amazing. But we saw a few very trendy New England IPA places and sour fruity beers, and a lot of the New England IPA just taste like rotten cabbage and carrots. This is a shame because I don't know what are you thinking. So I think that's not that easy that we can take. Making a sweet beer is easy because you go to the extreme. You mash you don't put any bitterness, and you put a lot of everything you can find. This is one thing, but to make a very good New England IPA with no off flavors and with only the tropical fruits and no onion aroma and all of this with lots and lots and a lot of hops, I think that those that succeed at this, they know what they do. If they can consistently do it, they're good. They just, it's not just that they're easy. It's easy to put everything in the kettle. That they have knowledge. You cannot try to make beer with just pouring things in the kettle. There's a science between with that, and we're becoming more and more aware of that. You can read books about this. You can listen to podcasts, and we know lots of what's going on in those beer now. And the best brewers that they do it the right way.
Yeah.
But I've tasted so many things that were.
Skype. It just keeps stopping. It's never like how many. This is like episode 31.
It must be his connection.
Maybe.
Since it hasn't happened.
It keeps like
before.
cutting out. Either way.
Maybe the brewery itself doesn't.
Yeah, it could be maybe just because it's like a commercial Wi-Fi, and it's probably. I mean, there's no one else there, obviously, but it's taking a lot of video. Sorry, guys. Shit happens, you know. We out here doing what we can. There we go. He's back.
Hey, hi again.
There we go. I guess Skype is just not loving us tonight, eh?
Yeah.
Not too much fun. Good points on the last thing. Did you want to do something from Birra?
Yeah.
Which one? What do you want to do?
It's let's clean our palate with the Ginette.
Ginette? Perfect.
Yeah.
Which is a sour. Babe, oh, Dan, can you get me one? It's on the bottom shelf. It's called Ginette. Ginette.
This is funny. You have to spell it.
I have to spell it because Dan is from England, so he's not familiar with all the Quebec stuff yet. He's learning, you know. So Ginette is a sour, right?
Yeah. I was saying that you need to get a francophone roommate. Or assistant or something.
That might be easier. I think that would say.
So Ginette is a Kettle Sour. So it's a beer that is just a little bit sour. The nice thing with the Kettle Sour is that it's a modern technique that we can use to get acidity in the wort before the fermentation. So sometimes people just call them Berliner Weiss, which I think is wrong because Berliner Weiss should be done with the fermentation of lacto and pedio bacteria.
Yes, no, you're right. Sorry, I had an IPA glass and I was going to put it in here, and it's ridiculous. I can't do that.
Why?
Why? Because it
doesn't matter. You use the glass you want.
No, I saw your glass and I was like, oh, I need to do something similar to yours. Close-ish.
So and I changed.
You changed it.
Yeah, so Kettle Sour is nice because you can just use it as a tool to get acidity in a beer without the funkiness. So it stays clean with a little bit of lemony
Ooh.
aroma. And this beer is just a little bit sour. So if someone likes the very sour stuff, he's not going to be liking this
Into
one
this
too
one,
much.
right? It's a bit more chill.
Yeah.
Okay, right? Oh. So this, I love the branding of Birra, man. Like, it's really cool. I've never seen it before. I guess because it's all pretty new.
Yeah, so this is Wina, my girlfriend and partner in Birra, that chose the color. So all the beers has different colors.
They're like cool patterns and stuff.
I don't know if you can see them.
Yeah. There you go. It's like nice, like sort of geometric patterns and stuff. Very simple. Ah, it all joins up. Nice.
Fake. At first, we've been on the market with the Bob, and people were telling me, this is very minimal, and I was like, oh, you've seen nothing. We're coming with this.
It does not get any more minimal than that.
Yeah.
What's
Yeah.
What are the hops in this one, man?
So this is just so I don't say nothing. It's not there. It's man, I have a blank. It's Amarillo and Mosaic.
Amarillo Mosaic. Let me note this down.
A bit of crystal. So it's very low in alcohol. So it has a little bit of body, a little bit of sweetness, and a little bit of acidity. So it's very balanced again, but it's very low in alcohol. So it doesn't scrape.
No, it's nice. It's super lemony, as you said. I like the lemon vibes. Really subtle.
So it's not that malty. It's more on the lemonade thing. It really is not watery, but kind of sweet sour.
Yeah, it's super light, but yeah, I wouldn't say watery. It's like it's nice and it's 3.5%, right? So you can only do so much with the body on it.
Very low. Yeah, usually we do low alcohol beer with caramel malts and things to up the body and have something more consistent. But the point is to do something very, very light.
Right. No, I like this. This is nice. Is this a newer beer or is this something you've had around for a while?
We had it for 2 or 3 years now. But,
okay.
But we weren't making it ourselves.
Okay. Right. And were you contracting out of my brasserie or something like that?
Yeah, that's right. We had 4 fermenters there.
Nice. Okay, and then you moved, and now you do all the Birra and all the Silo stuff at Silo now.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, 100% of the production is now.
Now there.
Right here.
No, that's great. So, Sean is in. Shout out to Sean. Haven't seen Sean for a minute. It's coming through. Okay, so maybe just for people who don't know, tell us about Birra. It's a very interesting concept as well. Maybe just because I know there's a whole other episode, but maybe just tell people how Birra came about and what you guys do there, so we can give them some context for this beer.
Yeah. Well, at first we were participating in the cooperative Ma Brasserie.
Okay.
So we had the opportunity to make beer for another bar. So we decided to open this bar. So we call it Bar à Bière Maison. So we have house beers, but we weren't making it on site. So sometimes you see bars that are calling themselves breweries, but they just have their beer, but they're not doing it. So we wanted to be fair with people and saying clearly that we're not brewers. We are brewers, but we are not a brewery.
Right.
So there's a distinction there, because I believe so much in the brewer's work that you have to build a brewery and to conceptualize the brewery and to run it and to clean it.
No, Skype, man, why? Fuck. Shout out to everybody who's sticking around on the live and on the audio. I just think it has to be because of the brewery. just maybe not like enjoying this level of suction on its bandwidth. We just ordered. Oh, here we go. He's back. There we go.
Back.
We gotcha.
Man.
It's
Making
okay.
me speak in English and I have to repeat all over again.
I'm sorry, man.
Can you put subtitle and I speak French?
Yeah, what? So, you just speak, and I'll translate.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Could you do that? Oh, it's gonna be a long night. I've done an interview like that before on a French radio station when I was like with my music, and they would ask me the question in English, and then I would answer in English, and then he would translate what I just said in French. It took a while.
Yeah. So I was talking about Birra, and so yeah, we wanted a bar in the Little Italy, and we wanted our own beers, and the menu is part house beers and lots of breweries that we prefer in Quebec. So we're working with a relatively small amounts of breweries that we know that it's always good quality. And that's it. It's simple as that. It's a bar.
Right. Okay. So it's more of a bar. It's in Little Italy, as you said, on the corner of Saint Laurent and Jean Talon. So it's a really great spot. It's not too far from Harricana, up the road from vice versa. I always usually tell people back before people could visit, when people could visit the town, I would always tell people you could do like a nice little circle up there, whether you sort of went Jeu de Ciel, vice versa, Birra, Harricana, if you want to do that, Helm, maybe, Cibois, something like that. There's a whole bunch in this area, and it makes a brewery crawl super easy. And you guys have amazing food as well at Birra.
Yeah.
And it's just this really cool vibe. Like, the last time I was there, I think it was one of the anniversary parties. Actually, it was. Yeah, dude, it's like... I haven't been out. We never in Montreal. We were never in Montreal, and then now COVID. Like, this is the most we've been in Montreal since we've lived here.
Yeah, but you cannot go out.
And now we can't go out. So it's sort of like nice to be home, but terrible because we can't go anywhere. But on my desk I have the coasters from the 3-year. Actually, Dan, keep going.
Yeah, it's been a while. We're gonna have the 5th year in January.
Oh, really?
Lower.
There we go. Look at that.
I cannot see it.
You can't see it? Oh, here we go.
No.
I'm saying I was showing the camera. Can you see that?
Yeah, that's right.
Yes.
Oh, now understand. We don't see the same thing. Yeah,
no, because I've got the people are seeing the big...
1 hour and a half to understand the camera.
No, there's a camera for the people and there's the computer for you. So we see different things. But yeah,
Thanks.
So that was last year, or the year before. Was that 2018?
2 years ago.
Fuck. Okay.
Yeah. We had our fourth.
I must have been back.
Last year, and we're going on the 5th this January.
Coming. Okay, no. So then it was 2019 we went. Okay.
So probably we'll miss it this year now again because we're probably going to be closed again.
Man, it's so crazy. It's so wild, but it's just like, yeah, Birra is a really cool place. I really enjoy what you've done there. You got a wicked patio for the summer, like the actual outdoor terrace is huge and it's always popping. It's always super busy. So it's it's one of those sort of neighborhood bars that have, like you said, I enjoyed the fact that it was because I went there a couple of times before we did any podcasts or anything, so I'd been there and had a night there and stuff like that, and I liked that you got your own beers and you always had, you rounded out the menu with, maybe you didn't have a stout, so you had some Jeu de Ciel or something like that. Like, it was very cool. It was it's a cool place. I keep thinking it was because everything's
it's finished.
far from it.
We have a lot of New England IPAs too. So on the menu. So
do you really?
Yeah, we do.
Oh, wow.
Lots of IPAs and a lot of sours and.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it's
that's what's available. For sure.
Okay. I mean, I guess that makes sense. So, are you telling me, sir, that you have come around on New England IPAs, or are you saying that you're reluctant still?
No, I think, as I said earlier, I think it's nice to have diversity.
Okay.
It's a great. I think some people just like this, like sweet beer.
Yeah.
I must admit, to be honest, that sweet beers are not what I prefer, but I like it once in a while.
Okay. What's your...
I don't think as this beer as this style as a beer that you can like down a few pints with your friends. I think it becomes cloying a little bit too fast. But I know that some
That's
people
fair.
just drink this days and night. But yeah, I think it's a good beer. Like a barley wine, I wouldn't take two. It's,
Yeah.
For me,
I strangely enough, I agree with you. I usually find that I would do like a lighter. If I'm having a night, I would always do like a crispy or something to start. I'd have like a pale ale or like 5 to 7%. Then I have a double, and then I go into a sour or a stout or something. So it's sort of, and then by the time I have the second hazy beer, I'm like, all right, that's enough.
But people tend to think that I don't like IPA, which is completely wrong because I like IPAs. I prefer balanced IPA.
Okay.
But that said, I like when I go to the Boston area, I'm gonna make the lineup to Trillium, and I'm gonna go to Treehouse, drive an hour to go buy beers at Treehouse, and I'll come back with a 24 of Treehouse to drink on my couch. But at the same time, I'm gonna go to Suarez and Notch and
balance
other
it out.
great places that has LUKR tap and great clean lagers.
Right. So it sounds like you and I are both misunderstood. People don't know I like the crispy boys. And people don't know that you like the haze.
Yeah, probably I changed my mind because sometimes that when you see an hype coming, and usually a lot of people embark in it and they just do it badly. So what I don't like is bad beer, and this you can encounter a lot of bad beer when people are experimenting.
Yeah.
But I know that it's a normal process, and we have to go through this to see the light and to get something better at the end. So I have a lot of admiration for people that experiment with new techniques when they know that probably it's going to be crap. They know it, or maybe they don't know because they're just naive. But that's the reality. You will try and you will fail. But the sad thing is that the customer has to buy your things and to drink it.
Yeah.
But they at least they try and they want to get better and they want to go to something that we'll all enjoy at the end.
Yeah. No, that's fair. I mean, look, in your defense as well, the haze at the time, say it was 2017, it was very new in Canada and even newer in Quebec. So like there wasn't many good ones, if any at all. I don't even think Bar Canada was around back then. I feel like Quebec really resisted it, so you would have had to travel to the States to see it, and it took.
And when you talked to me about this the first time, when you called me an OG, and that I didn't like A's, I was just coming back from Trillium and Treehouse, so.
Okay, so you knew more than me.
Yeah, I would say that I've tried it, and I was knowledgeable at least a little bit.
Right.
Yeah.
But it grew on you over time.
Totally on board.
Right. Okay. So it grew on you over time because I guess even when we did the Birra interview, I don't think we really talked about it then because it wasn't really like a big deal. But
you were always talking about shitty lactose and shit.
Okay, that was my next question. Are you team lactose yet?
No, don't talk about lactose. I would say that I have integrated a few techniques from the new dry hopping techniques and all of this. If you see the Irma, which is the session IPA, it is dry and bitter, but I'm using an upstand, which is at the end of the boil. You will decrease the temperature and put aroma hops, and I will use some techniques and some knowledge that we gain with the experimentation for the New England IPAs. So I'm not against it. I'm gonna use them for what I like, at least. So this is integrated in what I do. So I will. It's not that I change my mind, but I think there's good thing to take and some less good things.
Okay, so basically you're going to make a fire New England IPA from Silo is what I'm saying. It's what you're telling me right now.
maybe, but no
Maybe.
lactose because
That's okay.
lactose.
That's okay. You can use some oats, maybe some wheat. It's okay. You can balance that out. Did you want to do one last beer from Birra to show the other one, or are you satisfied with what we've done?
Yeah, we can. You can choose. Maybe we can taste the Francesco.
Yeah, which is
Which is
the
coconut porter.
coconut porter. Yes, the Francesco coconut porter, please, from Birra. Thank you so much. While Tiff is getting that, this has been fantastic. The Jeanette is really nice, man. It's really light, really easy to drink. It's just super citrusy and bright. And
The first day we delivered it, it was the first very hot day in Montreal. So all my beers are in the walk-in cooler. They are all cold, and I make the deliveries in my car.
Okay.
And then I came to the beer shop. I was saying people that this is like a lemonade, and it was so hot this day that people just cracked it. It's so good.
No, it's really nice, and I didn't realize I had the yeast at the bottom of the can because it didn't fit in the glass. I just poured that in. It changed it from like a bit more opaque to from trends you could see through it to now it was darker and it was a bit more. I don't know. I guess it just brought that extra flavor in.
Is that the Fuji camera?
Oh yeah, you see the Fuji? Yeah, we got the XT4. Are you familiar with the caps?
Before, yeah.
Yeah, we got that recently.
It's a dream camera. I'm not rich enough for this.
It was very expensive. It was.
Yeah. I don't want to buy it because the lens are so expensive.
The lens was like $1,100.
Yeah, I like the 56 1.2.
56.
Like dollars.
Oh, yeah, it's crazy. We got the 23 1.4.
Yeah.
It was super solid, but we got it. We were talking. We went to the Quebec City and Gaspé trip. We got it like a day or 2 days before we went, and we're the camera that's plugged in. Oh fuck! Thank you, baby. Guys, it just keeps happening. I'm sorry. Thank you for sticking with us. Oh man, this has actually been really solidly views like this whole time. Like there's been a decent amount of people the whole way through. Y'all thugs, appreciate y'all. Ready? JP will be back in a sec. I'm just happy that JP likes the haze. It's good. I feel like we've come to this like happy middle ground between us now. It's great. So this I actually haven't had this one. So this is called Francesco. It's a coconut porter. Oh, I had to recall in again? For fuck's sake, bro. There he is.
Last time.
That's it. All right. I was just telling him this is great. So tell us about this beer, bro. This is a coconut porter. No,
yeah, So we've brewed it for Birra, for sure.
I've had this before.
Yeah, I wanted to pour. I like. I more like porter than stouts, and this is a big debate on what is the porter and what is a stout. But for me, I like it when it's less burnt and more chocolatey, roasty. So this is one in between, and we use fresh coconut flakes after fermentation.
Yeah.
So I think that I've tried with the toasted coconut, and this is a small hint. I prefer the raw unroasted coconut. It tastes just fresher.
Okay. No, this is really nice. I've actually had this before, according to my good
tap.
According to Untapped, because it keeps my records for me.
So you, at least Untapped can tell you if you've had it before, because you cannot remember.
I can't remember. Yeah, man.
That means you have to erase Untapped for a few years.
Can you imagine?
And taste again.
I mean, I don't just drink. That's a good point. I don't just drink beers I haven't had before, but I just don't remember. I used to have a spreadsheet, and I had to manually copy and paste everything.
Spreadsheet guy. Okay.
I was a spreadsheet guy.
You're
Untapped replaced the spreadsheet.
Yeah.
And
that's for sure. That the spreadsheets were a mess. I know.
It was like, yeah, man. I just had to like keep an eye, because then I go into the app and I'd have to Google Birra and then bring up Birra. Did I have it? No, at least this will tell me straight away. Did I have it? Boom.
Yeah, it's a great tool.
Yeah, it's good for that. This is dope. So now you've got 4 canned beers for Birra and 4 canned beers for Silo, correct?
Yeah, we've had another 5th beer this summer for Silo. It was a strawberry sour.
Ooh.
It was a Kettle Sour like the Irma, but no hops, and only freshly picked strawberries.
Jesus.
Yeah, so we didn't do it again because we wanted to have only freshly picked strawberry. I know, like right now, everybody's doing a lot of fruit beers, but the hardest part for me is to source the fruit.
Gotcha.
And freshly picked Quebec strawberries have a very ripe aroma, very strawberry aroma that doesn't taste like too much, and that is quite strong at the same time. So I don't want to use any frozen fruits for this one because everybody knows what's a good strawberry taste like, and when you taste the strawberry beers that taste not quite the same as a strawberry, you're kind of disappointed.
Yeah.
We're doing it once a year, and that's it.
Okay, I love that. So then people, what's the distribution like though? So say obviously in Montreal you can get the beers pretty much everywhere, but outside of Montreal, what's the deal?
Yeah, right now you can get it almost everywhere. We have a few blind spots. We don't have anything in Saguenay-Lac-Saint-Jean. I don't know why. We don't have lots in Centre du Québec, but you can get them in Rimouski.
Nice.
You can get them in Rouyn-Noranda. You can get them lots of sell point in Gatineau, Sherbrooke, Trois-Rivières, Quebec. There's almost 200 places. That's
amazing, man. And this is really cool because, you had a pretty rough run. You opened a month before, maybe less than, then everything got locked down. And you've been able to get the beer out there. And not only were you, you are a known person, but not everyone who's going to buy your beer knows who you are. So I think it's a testament to the quality of the beers. I've seen a lot of people talk, like I was saying to you multiple times, I've seen a lot of people talk about the Silo. Look, beer has been around for a while, and these are dope. I guess the Silo is the hardest sell here because people, at least in Montreal, know beer as the bar. Silo is this new brand. All of a sudden, you have to show who you are and what you're about. And I think you've been able to really show people exactly what you do and how quality the products are, and people are very, very impressed. And everything now I've had is fire. It's exactly kind of what I was hoping for, what I thought it would be, and I'm really happy for you. I'm really glad because it takes a lot of balls to push on with something like this when lots of preparation, I would say. It's the key to achieving something. Lots of preparation. Yes, thank you very much for the opportunity tonight to talk about what I like to do. Nah, man, it's been great. I've been wanting to do that. I've been wanting to get to try the stuff for a while and talk to you about it because I had a lot of questions. I've been following since the beginning. Also, I don't know if I said this on the other ones. Do you remember when we did the La Succursale podcast? Me and Tiff were like, "You don't have Instagram? What are you doing?"
I remember you caught us at the beginning because I was talking with Tiffany and I was about to say the last time we saw each other, you how do you say, chicané?
She's scolded you for where's your Instagram?
Why you don't have Instagram? No, I don't master Instagram, but I use it a lot.
No, man, I'm very impressed because literally by the time we got home, you had signed up to Instagram for La Succursale and posted.
Yeah.
And we were just like, this guy, this is beautiful. And then you have, Birra's on point, and then Silo has been on point from the beginning. You've had, great photos, and you've had the presence, and you've got it everywhere. So I'm very proud of you. Oh, here you go. Tiff just says proud of you. Proud of you, smiley face. So it was very cool, man. I like seeing that growth. I like seeing that. There's not many people in Quebec that I speak to that have done what you've done as far as, owning a brewery and then starting another one and then contracting and then selling that and starting a whole new one and then being like, fuck, now it's a pandemic, but I got to go. You've gone through a lot, and it's really cool to see that you've been able to continually just make it work. You know, like you said, everything was in the works with the cans of Birra anyway, but you've been able to sort of push that harder to keep that thing going when, you know, people can't get anything there. You've been able to impress a lot of people with the original, you know, the first batches of beers that you've done through Silo. The branding is out of control, exceptional. I've never seen anything like it before. It's unique. It's eye-catching. I just think what you've done is really, really cool under all this pressure that you're under as well, and I think that needs to be celebrated about it. I think it's sick, and I'm really, really happy for you because
Thank you very much.
You know, it seems like obviously things aren't where it needs to be in the world, and you'll make more money when the damn tap room's open, but you know you're able to keep this ship going, type of thing. And
the pandemic is hard on everyone, and there are a lot of other new company that just have so much trouble getting into the market and having some a voice, because there's so much noise right now, and everything is so complicated for everyone, and people are just impatient, and they don't want they don't want to change all the things for you, making place, making a spot for you because you're new, and they are new brew pubs that opened in September, and that's crazy because they are. There's a place in Boucherville which is called Toltec. They opened for 2 days.
Oh God!
They closed, and now they have to can beer by one by hand. So people, some people have it harder than me.
Jeez, man. Yeah, no, it's super rough. No, but it's good to see this. I'm excited to see what else is coming from Silo, from you know, the Double Dry Hub New England IPA. I'm excited for that.
Yeah.
Trust me. I know. I feel. I'm excited. I'm gonna please keep me posted. I'm gonna be watching for it, but let me know how you go.
But first, next week, I forget to mention this, but next week
please.
we have a new Pilsner coming.
From Silo?
Yeah, I call this Montreal Pilsner because it's an hybrid between German style and American style, with a little bit of maize, very dry and very nice IPA. Very nice.
Pilsner.
So a new Pilsner coming next Friday.
Next Friday? What's it called?
It's called Chabanel, like the street.
The street? Oh, I love it. Keeping it thorough. What we need to do before we just get all the other stuff, we need to take the screenshot for the thumbnail. So, do you want to hold up a can or something like that? A couple cans? Maybe I can hold up this and this, because I can't fit any more in my hands. We got one of each. There we go. Perfect. Here we go. Hang on. No, that's good. All right, ready? Let's see if we're satisfied with that one. Beautiful. Gorgeous. JP, my man, where can everybody find you and your two breweries online?
Silo, Brasserie Silo on Instagram, and something like that on Facebook. That's it. And you can pick up fresh beer at Birra Thursday to Saturday, or at Silo directly in the brewery Wednesday to Saturday. And thanks everyone for watching this long video with me speaking in English.
You did very well. I'm very proud of you. I know the other day you were like, I got to speak for an hour in English. And I'm like, these podcasts have been going longer than an hour lately. So you held it down, brother. Stay on the line once I wrap this up, and we'll say goodbye properly. But guys, thank you so much for watching. Thank you for tuning in, even through these ridiculous Skype annoyances. Guys, if you enjoyed the episode, smash the thumbs up, hit subscribe below, hit the notification bell so you know when the new drops. Follow us on social media at BAOS Podcast, and check out the long form audio so you can hear legends and New England IPA converts like JP talk about his crispy boys and other things. I know, right? You're the haze boy now, bro. You're a haze boy. In Quebec. We'll see you guys in the next episode. Peace. Boom. All right. So that's the podcast side. Live is done. Tiff says, great chat. Thank you, Tiffany. Thank you. That was really fun, bro. Guys, we'll be back tomorrow night at 8 p.m. I'm not going to say who it is because follow us on social media and we'll tell you who it is. So this has been great, JP. Appreciate you. Stick around. We'll talk in a sec. And guys, we'll see you tomorrow night at 8 p.m. Peace, peace, peace.